video we're going to carry on with our two chappies from Malifaux, our Scion of the Black Blood and our Blood Wretches. So, where are we going to continue from this? Well, we had, if you remember, we've done the gun. I might actually put a little bit of brown on the gun in some place, on the handle here, make it look as though it's wood, with like a metal overlay kind of thing. And we need to highlight the wraps here and the horns, the trousers and the boots, and then we can look at painting the base, because I think near enough everywhere else is done. With the Blood Wretch, all we're doing is just highlighting the skin tones, the hair and the trousers, and then once again it's the base. So let's get on with it, shall we? We're going to be taking our dry brush, and for first of all the wraps here we're going to be using I thought I'd got it out, I haven't. Where's the paint colour that I want? Here we go. This is it, Ushabti Bone. This is the one we're going to be using for the wraps. And it's just a case of a little bit on the brush and wipe most of it off. It's a dry brush we're using, so that's what we need to do, wipe most of it off, and then all we need to do is just go down like so. And this isn't the finished highlights, by the way. What we're going to be doing after this is a layer of this mixed with white to make it stand out that little bit more. But we're also going to do the horns with this as well. So I'm trying to get this done so it's all on camera. It's an ongoing problem with me, trying to get things done on camera. But that's that for Ushabti Bone. And next what we're going to be doing is using a little bit, that is not quite all that we're going to do with the Ushabti Bone, but it's all we can do for the time being. What we're going to do next is using a slightly paler green colour, if I can find it, that is. It's around somewhere. No, it's not that one, it's not that one. Here we go. Let's put that to one side for a second and get out the Elysian green. Give it a good shake, pop it open, and we're going to do the same thing but this time on the trousers of our little Blood Wretch here. And still a little wet. There we go, and that, and now here. It is quite a watery colour with it being a layer paint, but we can still dry brush with it. We just have to make sure that we get most of the colour off the brush. there we are. And next, what else are we going to do? Oh yes, the skin tones. Now the skin tones, as we said, one is slightly greyish colour, but not a complete grey. So I just realised I need a little something extra. Won't be a second. Here we go. What we're going to use is our usual trick of an old CD. Now our brush here is very, very, very dry. Even so, you'll still get a little spot of moisture on it. So we want to get it as dry as we possibly can. So all we have to do is just keep rubbing it against a paper tissue, and that should dry it. There we are, that'll do fine. So we want our administratum, no, we'll use Ulthuan Grey. I've not used this one yet, so we'll use Ulthuan Grey. A little bit of that, and mixed into that we'll have just a spot, and I mean a spot of, let's try this one, and this colour is rat skin flesh. Now as you can see, we're not using our wet palette at the moment because what we're trying to achieve is dry brushes. Yeah, and that's the colour we're going for, near enough. It's just a little bit too pinkish, reddish pinkish. We want it more greyish colour, so a touch more of the Ulthuan Grey to knock it down a bit more. That's better. And now got that on, we can wipe all the paint off the brush and using the flat of the brush just go straight down like so. And that should give an appropriate highlight colour for the skin tone that we have. And yes, I noticed in the video afterwards that I painted the ear and the hair colour because I hadn't noticed it as I was doing the skin tone. There we go, yeah. And there we have our Blood Wretch. I'm also going to use this colour because it's quite a bright colour. I'm going to use this for the, I'm assuming it's horns, it could be her, but I'm going to use it for going over this as well. Like so. I'm going to add a spot of what colours I was going to add a spot of, oh dear, a little spot of Nurgling green into this as well, and I mean a little spot. Better give it a bit of a shake before I do that. Like so. And then fasten the lid so I don't mess up, and just give a slight dry brush straight down on all this flesh tones. There and there. Like so. And I think a second camera for this is a bit excessive, but I've got it lined up just in case I do decide to use what do they call it? The wet palette. But to be honest, I don't think I will be ringing this video. Right, so we have the fang. I want a little spot of this going on our palette, and once again Ulthuan grey to grey it down quite a bit. Just that little bit faded, like faded denim, that kind of colour we're looking for. I want the brush loaded up, and then we just wipe everything off the brush, and then here we can just go straight down. Like so. And that's that. And then using just the Ulthuan grey, we can go over the boots. Again, we have to make sure that the the brush is dry before we can do this. So we make sure we sew the cloth. And as I say, it's Ulthuan grey just over his boots. Get a little bit on the brush, wipe it all off. Same procedure as it has been for the past few coats, and then it's just that. There we go. And we'll even add some to the top of these wraps that go around his wrist, just a bright little touch. And that is the Scion of Black Blood complete. all I need to do now is using a spot of the silly sod that I am, a spot of the Ultman Grey, and the Balor Brown, which we used for her in the first place, much less of this than the grey. As you can see, make that colour. Get the paint off on the paper towel. We can run it along here. Just like so. And there's one of our Blood Wretches done. Our Scion of Black Blood done. And now we're looking at painting the bases. Oh yeah, this is where our trusty wet palette is going to be coming into play. Because first off, what we want is black, and for this, it's Abaddon black. So we get some of that and pop it on our palette, like so. A spot of water into that, and then we can just colour everything here black. And I'm going to just fast forward everything so it's not too boring for you. And here we are, this is almost finished now. Just a case of a few touches here and there to finish off, and then we can get on with doing the main colours for this mini. So finding that the black isn't covering as well as we'd hoped, but it's not a big issue because this is, the top of these are going to be black anyway, so it's just to add a little. I've just noticed that there are also the gaps in the and the crevices in the what do we call it, between the cobblestones are they're actually covering. But again, as I said, I don't know why I'm making sure that everywhere's covered, because it doesn't really matter if it's not. But I think it's just a bit of what do you call it? I wanted to make sure it's all the same coverage for the next step, which is to paint it all brown. Apart from the, obviously, the base. All the what do we call it? The cobblestones are going to be brown, and this brown is going to be when I find it. Here we are. Well, it would say brown oxide if you could see it, but unfortunately we've got blue paint all over it from where we had that accident a while ago with it. Oh well, we'll add that to our palette. Okay, and now we can just go over the cobble areas, making sure that all this now is covered in brown. And it's just the tops, we're not going over the base. So we'll have another look here. Looks fine. Don't see any white bits. All fine and dandy. So what we're going to do here is next we're going to add a little bit of administratum grey into this brown. So I'll take some of the brown off there, and then add some of this grey. And we'll rinse the brush out, get our dry brush, and we'll just go over the flagstones like so. And again here. And next we'll add some more of the Ulthuan Grey, Menstruatum Grey into the mix. To make it a much paler colour again. I've added a bit too much. I don't want it grey, I want it like a browny grey. That's about right. So wipe all the paint off the brush. And run over this again, not covering every stone, just giving it a very pale contrast with other stones. And then we want to put more in fact, what we can do is change from Administratum Grey to Ulthuan Grey, which you've seen before, and add some of that into this mix to make it incredibly bright, and this will be our final highlight for this. And this will go just like that, and like that. And next we're going to be clever with washes. In fact, no we're not, because I have one more thing I want to do first before we go into the wash section, and that is using some, once I've given it a shake, Talarn sand. Get some on the brush, wipe it off, and then just where the dirt parts of this model are, just add a bit of that. Over the brown that's already there. Just like so. I will leave that now for a few minutes just to dry up a bit. While that's grassy stuff is drying, we can get some washes out. One of the washes is going to be Carrowbird Crimson. Another wash is going to be, when I find it, Druchii Violets. And we're also going to use a spot of not known oil. Keelia Green Shade. These are cobbles after all, they aren't going to be all one colour. So what we're going to do is, using these, we're going to change the colour of these flagstones. So I'm just going to dry my brush. I'm going to take some red and I'm going to Black that on some of these flagstones. I'm going to take some purple and add that to the colour of the flagstones. And I'm going to take some of the green and add that to the colour of the flagstones, and that will give it a nice effect, making it look a lot more realistic as flagstones, because it make it look weathered. There we are. That's almost finished now. I'm just going to go around the bases again to check to make sure that the coverage is good. I know on this one it isn't, so I'm going to do this one first, and I'm just going to go over and make sure that it's a solid black colour. Like so. I think the Blood Wretch should be okay, because I went over that earlier twice. There we are. Let's just double check. There's a little bit of a touch up here and there, but apart from that, absolutely fine. So that's a Blood Wretch and the Scion of Black Blood. Virtually complete. There's just one little step I need to do, but I can't do that until the washes have dried. But while we're waiting for that to do, we're just going to take a little bit of the Screaming Skull, not a vast amount. I'm going to put that on there, and then a little bit of the Tallarn sand. Just to make it a little lighter. Now we're just going to give a quick waft in here. Same in this part as well. And there we are. You'll see what we're going to do next once the wash has dried. But until then, that is it for this video. The next time we come back, we're going to be looking at the other Blood Wretch and Angel Eyes. And just in case you can't remember what they look like, it's these two. Okay, so that's it from our little friends here. Until next time, oops, also that's it from me as well. So until next time, as always, take care, God bless, and bye for now.